Hello and welcome to the official website of omniavatar.net. We at OmniAvatar would like to give our citizens food for thought by putting forward a hypothetical situation. We're going to use Google headquarters as an example. Imagine for a moment that you are an employee of Google UK headquarters. Your day starts when you awake from a much disturbed night's sleep. Your first thought is of your child who is on the autistic spectrum and is currently imprisoned in an outsourced, privately run, secure unit, which, by the way, is more than 300 miles away. As you try your hardest to get body and soul out of bed, step back onto a molasses-covered floor, your daily worries continue to intensify, causing an immediate return of your anxiety. Time to take an anti-anxiety pill. Whilst waiting impatiently for the anti-anxiety meds to kick in, you decide to have breakfast. Unfortunately for you, not of your making, because you're on minimum wage, you can barely pay the rent on the hovel you call home, which, by the way, your private landlord calls a cash cow. When you eventually get downstairs and open the fridge door, what is left of your food bank handout would barely feed a child, let alone an adult. Time to shower and change for work. Unfortunately for you, not of your making, you have to shower in cold water because you've been put on a prepaid meter, which is the most expensive tariff known to man, whilst at the same time our water, gas and electricity suppliers rub their hands together as their profits continue to rise exponentially, again not of your making. You jump into your old diesel car, which your MOT is due soon, and whilst en route to work, you drive over a pothole, burst a tyre, lose control, and eventually lose consciousness. When you awake 90 minutes later and in excruciating pain, our wonderful NHS ambulance service eventually turns up. Again, not of their making. Although our NHS ambulance service is massively overworked, underpaid and undervalued, a special thanks goes to all those tax avoiders who think it's okay to benefit directly and indirectly from the most prized and precious public services, and have the nerve to justify not having to pay their fair share of tax and give legal loopholes as a morally reprehensible excuse not to have to pay tax. Thanks to the consummate passion and dedication of our public sector workers, and thanks to their sheer love and passion for the job that they do and the citizens that they serve, they continue to battle through what can only be described as yet another challenging day, at every level, and again, not of their making. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the ambulance crews have to circumnavigate potholes and have to slow down for sleeping policemen, so your journey time now takes 2 to 3 times longer than it did 20 years ago. When you eventually arrive at hospital, you have to wait outside and ambulatory care continues due to delays in A&E, because they are also overworked, overcrowded, underfunded and underappreciated. If that were not bad enough, due to an underfunded social care system, our government have created a 21st century phenomenon known today as bed blocking. Unfortunately, someone dies in hospital due to the aforementioned issues, which are preventable with sufficient funding. But bully for you, you're moved up the queue, and I'm a poet and I don't know it. But unfortunately, again, not of your making, you end up on a trolley in a corridor, which to your amazement and utter disgust, you have to wait an average of 3 hours. Meanwhile, back at Google headquarters, they are experiencing a fire on the ground floor due to the inept yet profitable white goods manufacturer Hotpoint. Unfortunately for the staff inside Google's UK headquarters, some numpty has told the staff to stay in the building and await further instructions from the London Fire Brigade. Unfortunately for the staff at Google UK headquarters, some other numpties decided to clad Google UK headquarters in a highly flammable material fitted improperly, which was deemed to be safe. More numpties signed the building off as safe. Again, a special thanks goes to all our citizens who think that it is okay to avoid paying their fair share of tax and then have the nerve to justify their nefarious actions. It really does bring a new meaning to, and possibly scarily, new and morally bankrupt, socially acceptable norm. Oh, and a special shout out goes to Jean-Claude Juncker for creating a tax haven in Europe which benefits those who think that it is morally acceptable to avoid paying tax. The gift that keeps on giving. Omni Avatar out.